Life, liberty, happiness. A practice or a pursuit? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness suggests we are chasing it, and it is elusive. Life, liberty, and the practice of happiness suggests we are happy and have a right to it and to live it happily. The Vienna Happiness Project appoints Nigel Stonham as play-acting Chief Happiness Officer for the 6th District, with a role having responsibility for the happiness of all citizens, as a mirror mirror, Little Miss Twins Twins, to the UK Loneliness Minister. The Happiness Project in the 6th District is 2 years long and intends to map everyone in the district to a buddy as friends, to ensure that all migrants have an Austrian they can call a friend and can call upon, and to ensure that all those community members, 34,600 people, feel welcome, that they understand their happiness is a choice, and that while choosing to be a happy person, they can still feel the emotions of pain, anger, and frustration, as well as those of joy, happiness, and bliss. The project trains people to cope with so-called negative emotions and moments, and to focus on the so-called positive or happy moments, thereby building their resilience. As well as a buddy, all members are offered a place in a team of 12 people with a pair of coach facilitators. Membership has a price or investment and a measurable return on investment. Payments are made in Happy Bitcoin cryptocurrency, which is backed by Happy Beans stored in the district. All people have an account and get a basic happiness income to ensure their basic needs are met, enabling them to focus on spreading happiness. Everyone is offered the chance to visit Happyland at least once a year, camping if they choose, staying in hotels or with locals if they can afford to. Membership comes at a price of 1, 10, 100, 1,000 or 10,000 units. The intention is that the membership investment is doubled in terms of value received in return, and it's monitored on an individual basis, 1-to-1 or all-to-1. The resource for this is a combination of happy humans, all people are offered a 12-week internship in the project, so school kids can gain skills and experience. Seniors can bring skills and experience to the project, and those so-called labelled Arbeitslos can also gain useful skills and experience during the period and will likely become more employable. Whilst the happy beans might not physically move, there is a circular flow of happy human activity, and movement is life. Movement is life, a life based on love. Some people might say this is a joke, whilst we are actually very serious. Some people think the current situation is very serious, while we in Happyland view it as, well, a bit of a joke. Mr. Funny has agreed with Mr. Happy that this is a reasonable project to support as a way out of what Mr. Messy has created over the years. And while Mr. Dizzy thinks there's no way to change the current situation, Mr. Clever is working towards the future he wants for the children of Happyland, supported by Mr. Strong and comforted by the knowledge that he will always have a friend in Mr. Happy. Mr. Love loves himself, and this is his number one priority, knowing that by loving himself, he can give more of himself to others, like Mr. Generous. Mr. Love also loves Mr. Nosy, and all other misters, as he loves himself, which he heard from Mr. Right and from Mr. Good, is okay. Mr. Daydream was accused by many of doing nothing for years, and is happy that now the people beyond Happyland realise there is indeed a value in doing nothing, as those in Happyland knew all along. Mr. Nobody was happy being his authentic self, and now is happy that he is no longer seen as a nobody. He knew all along that he had a body. Little Miss Twins said, "Hooray, hooray!" Little Miss Magic was happy that more people now believed in magic, having seen it with their own eyes. People started going to play each day and felt happy on Monday morning, knowing it was the happiest day of their life, that their bank account of happiness had increased since last week, and that they had a busy week of play ahead. Mr. Busy was busier than ever, and Mr. Rush felt he was finally rushing somewhere on purpose, having tried many things before. Mr. Mean was feeling full and meaningful, and Mr. Greedy greedily wanted more happiness in Happyland, which Mr. Good felt was good. Stadt Wien thought this was a worthy project and invested 100 million euros to support it for the first year, and Mr. Happy was delighted that all the money was immediately put to good use and returned a 100% increase. The members of the 6th District were happy to see that 100 million euros became translated into a local value of 200 million. Warwick University supported this with their local PhD candidate, who studied the project processes and outcomes with a team of happy players. The return on investment was indeed above their forecast of 17%, and the GDP of the 6th District increased by a lot of euros in the period. The project was presented in May 2019 at the 19th Happy Projects Conference in Techgate, and as a key part of the Happy Week of Happiness. Rauch sales of Happy Days juice doubled, measured by sales from the stores in the district. Happily, sales of Illy coffee in the district also doubled, supported by a large number of tourists who joined the Happy Cafe tours, offered regularly by people from all walks of life. And the Ministry of Silly Walks was happy to see people's fitness improving with all the fresh air and exercise, and the focus of people on taking more care of their physical and emotional health. People viewed themselves as happier and felt richer because of that. The 6th District model was implemented in other Viennese districts, and the teams supported the Vienna Happiness Week, which was awarded a prize from the EU and taken on a tour of all the European capitals.